Let's go like this where you're fucking doing shit.
Greg's reenacting Mike Tyson from his fight in 1995 with Peter McNeely. In the audience, there's a spectator with a camera phone.
Looks like a time traveler to me.
In September of 2015, a video surfaced on YouTube showing the 1995 Peter McNeely fight versus Mike Tyson.
Hell yeah.
And one of the spectators did have a camera.
A guy in the front row looks to have a smartphone, and he's filming the fight.
Yeah, and even Mike Tyson talked about it in an interview that he did on a boxing show.
Somebody showed me that freaked me out.
He said it's crazy, but he said, no, it's got to be Photoshopped. That can't be.
There is speculation that it's Photoshopped, that it's not Photoshopped. There's also been reports from Inside Edition, Snopes, a bunch of other people online that said it was a Casio recorder at the time.
In 1995, the technology was there for like handheld camcorders, and it does look similar.
And that's one of the points. One of the guys on Inside Edition was saying, like, it's so funny that people just believe these things, these conspiracies and time travel and ooh. But then he's like, people don't even look up what kind of technology they had in 1995.
Well, yeah, and I looked up technology they had for handheld camcorders in 1995, and it does look very similar to what's shown in the video. Number one, they didn't have like the silver color back then, and number two, they had other writings and other things on the front of the camera that doesn't show what's in the video.
Yeah, and we found the Casio QV 10A, and then there was a Casio QV 100. And there was also a Logitech Photoman.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the same characteristics that what's shown in the video.
It is big. It would definitely be the size of almost like an iPhone 12 Pro Max or the 13 Pro Max that they have now. Like, it is pretty freaking big.
Most people equate it to a Samsung Galaxy 3 or the Android S type platform.
My first question is, what is a time traveler doing at a Mike Tyson fight?
Well, yeah, people did say that in the comments. Like, if you were to time travel, you go to a 1995 Mike Tyson mediocre fight.
Yeah, the Peter McNeely fight. Like, oh, come on, give me something better than that.
Maybe the time traveler was a big gambler. He just wanted to go to Vegas and happened to be in Mike Tyson fight.
That is true. I would be curious what other events around this fight happened in 1995. Like, is there some type of event that happened, right then and there when this fight was happening and that they had to be there for, and they just said, you know what? There's a fight happening tonight. I'm going to go and check out that fight.
Tupac died.
Is that true?
No, I don't think so.
I think it was a couple years later.
Yeah, it was a couple years later.
But 1995, what's some big stuff that happened? Maybe there was aliens landing. Maybe there was something that changed the world that we don't even know.
I mean, but we have seen this in the past, like the Charlie Chaplin video.
Yeah, 1920s, I believe that was.
That somebody looks like looks like on the phone, and there was another video that people look like they're time traveling. Like at Lincoln's speech, there looks like a guy dressed in isn't traditional garb.
I mean, it is also a grainy photo, or when the people do screenshot this from the actual video. Yes, they didn't have the 4K technology that we do now for videos, but it kind of does look similar, but not to the Casio camera, handheld camera that they have now as a recorder. But I feel like most of these, which is kind of funny, that he's holding it a certain way.
Correct. He's holding it upright like you would
in a portrait mode.
An iPhone. The other ones, I don't know. Like, it's very similar, but again, it's so pixelated that you can't really tell.
It is, but then it makes me question. I understand this didn't come out until like 10 years later or 20 years later.
Yeah, 20 years later, yeah.
20 years later, this, video surfaced and now people are talking about it. I'm curious if people were talking about it in that 20-year span, which I didn't find anything online that people were talking about, there's a time traveler.
Well, I mean, smartphones, like this type of smartphone didn't come out until, what, 2010?
Well,
to 13-ish?
Well, the sizes, yes, but like the iPhone and stuff,
sure,
in that time period. So there was smartphones during this time period in that 20-year span leading up to it. It's interesting that nobody caught on to this until later, and now we're all speculating, is it, time traveler or not?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you could time travel to one event in history, where would you go?
I just had to pick one event. Why is it always one event?
One event.
If I could time travel, I think I would be able to go to more events than just one.
I know, but what would be the first one you go to?
I want to see who really killed JFK, where the shots came from.
So you would stand on the grassy knoll?
I would stand like probably behind the grassy knoll, more towards the bridge or the overpass, so I could see like, all right, I have a good view of the book depository, and then I also have the view of the grassy knoll. I have my technology like this guy does, who's sitting in the stands. I have my iPhone 12 Pro Max on me. Boom, I'm videotaping this in 4K, and now we can break it down. But then again, it would be kind of crazy because I don't think people would actually believe it.
No, they wouldn't.
But that would be one of the things, just as far as conspiracy mysteries and all the spookiness that this time brings. I would love to see that. But there's tons of things I would love to see if I could time travel. Would it be a Mike Tyson fight in 1995, knocking out Peter McNeely?
I would go to the Evander Holyfield biting off the ear one if you had to pick a Mike Tyson fight.
I mean, yeah, if you're going back and you're saying, all right,
Catch that little ear.
Catch that little ear.
Catch the little nub.
I think they found it and then reattached it, didn't they?
No, they didn't reattach it. Or they found it. They tried to. It doesn't look right.
Yeah, so do you believe in time travel?
No, I don't believe in time travel.
You don't believe in time travel?
No, I think it's awesome if it was real or it could happen.
So do you believe this is an actual time travel person?
No, I don't.
So you do think this is like a Casio or some other type of technology?
I think it's another type of handheld camcorder device. It is pretty interesting to think about though, but
yeah, it does look like that one Casio. If I'm looking at this video, do I believe in time travel? I do believe it exists in some form or another. Whether we're able to do it, that's another whole nother debate.
Yep.
Do people time travel like this gentleman? I don't know. If I'm looking at this, and yes, it is very pixelated, it's old, it's from 1995, it doesn't have any markings. Like all the Casio cameras that we've seen here have big Casio written on it.
They do,
They have all these other designs on it, all these other things on it. It looks like a big cell phone that has no markings on it.
Yeah, sure it does.
I don't know, man. I want to believe this. I really do. I want to believe it for the spooky season, but I don't know. I'm undecided on this. Can I be undecided?
Sure, why not?
Maybe I'll lead towards false if I had it. If somebody had a gun to my head, I would say it's false, but again, this is crazy. I don't know. Look at the footage. Let us know what you think.
We'll be cooking up all spookiness throughout this Halloween season.
Yeah, that is. It's the best time of the year. Get ready for more spooky shorts, more spooky on-location hometown haunts, as well as these mysterious weekday weirds. Anyway, make sure to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, hit the bell for notification, and visit our shop, shopnightmare365.com.
You can't get this on there, though.
You can't get that.
It's at Marshall's.
Maybe we can get a shirtless Greg pic on one of the t-shirts one day, but we have tons of tees there for the Halloween season, so make sure to check out that. We don't talk about it enough. Anyway, share your videos with us, and until next time,
stay spooky.
So if we're off camera now, do you really believe? Or do you still believe it's false?
I think it's false.
You think it's false? You think it's more bullshit?
Yeah, I think it's a handheld camcorder. Even though it looks...
the only thing, like, which I didn't say in the show, why doesn't anybody else have them? Why don't we see them anywhere else when they can?
That is a good point.
Yeah, which we didn't mention in the show. Why doesn't anybody else besides this freaking dude have it? But again, also another thing that we didn't mention in the show, look, this is like teaser stuff. No one's reacting to the guy.
No, that's another point. Yeah, no one reacts to the guy.
We didn't talk about that either. We missed a lot of good points in this episode.
So you just talk about it right now.
I'm talking about it right now. But anyway, I don't know. We got a lot of spooky stuff. Spooky.
Baking up the goods. You're Dracula now.
Dracula. I love these masks.
Why do you love those masks?
They bring back like the early or late 80s, early 90s.
You need a hood then.
I know. I would get a hood.
Whatever happened, like the Scream, like the whole Halloween thing of costumes that Mom had.
What do you mean the whole thing?
Do you have them? Like the Scream mask, the blood Scream mask.
I have the Scream mask. I don't have the blood mask. I don't know. Maybe Mom still has the box.
I don't think so.